Hello everybody, my name is Cool Blue and I'm bringing out this video of me playing a board game, or talking about some board games. This is going to be part of the Small Box Big Game series, and this is going to be the second game in the first series of the Nano 9 games. So it's the Nano 9 games, so you can see the other two. I did a review, and I did a playthrough, teach playthrough and a review of this one, and I did a teach and playthrough of City Planner. I'm about to do the review, and then finally Empire is going to be the last one that I'll do for the series. And yeah, so this is going to be City Planner. This is going to be all about City Planner. And yeah, I will start off this review by saying that this is very much an activity, not much of a board game. What I mean by that is that I personally, as a board gamer, I try to avoid playing certain types of games, certain types of party games specifically. Games like Cards Against Humanity, Apples to Apples, stuff like that. Would You Rather? What's the other one? The trolley experiment, because those feel like more like activities and games. I know that they're more game and they're more about the social and kind of laughing and get to know people around you. But at that point, playing hot takes is just play Never Have I Ever at that point. So I don't foresee this game with having a ton of depth. Although I will say it has more depth than it deserves to have. Also, sorry, I forgot about background music. Let me get that started. Apologies. There we go. I was about to say it sounds very quiet in here. There's our background music. Very low playing. But as far as everything goes in this game is very much a kind of, you roll the dice and you place them in places. You have some minor dice mitigation, and that's really it. I don't know the best way to explain this game outside of saying it's like bingo with two extra steps, if you want to call it that, and you're trying to maximize your score, but with your three manipulations on the six different cards you get to choose from. It's a whole thing. It's to the point to where I'm not even sure if like me giving a demo would actually add anything to the review, because the game doesn't have a ton going on outside of just trying to see if you can make the best of what you got, which is fine for a game. It's just, when it comes down to you placing your die and getting your stuff, there's not a ton of actual agency outside of three manipulations. Now, with the mechanic that you have to pass, if you're playing solo, with the mechanic that you have to pass something to your future self, with that mechanic, there's a little bit of strategy that gets added back into the game, because what you can do is, because you have to do your dice manipulations before you send a card to yourself, to your future self. So as a result of that, you can kind of, while planning your current turn, if you got everything set up on your current turn, you can essentially set your future turn up for maybe a better situation. So for instance, if this is what my board looked like on this current turn, let's roll this, and of course it's a 2. There we go. So this is what my current turn looked like. For some reason I had to send a card. This is the one that I'm going to get this round. This is one I sent from my current self in the past game. If I got all my manipulations done and I want to get myself in a better position, I can do things like I can spend one of my manipulations for this turn that I will not have available next turn, because you only get 3 a turn and they do not carry over. I can spend my manipulation for this turn to move this die from 2 to a 3, so that way it gives me a little bit of flexibility to move it either back this way if I need to, or get it over to the blue section if I need to. So you get a little bit of strategy added back in there because of that, but it's very minimal. And the biggest saving grace for this game is that this game does not last very long. And I don't mean that as a, like, this game doesn't stand on their legs. I just mean that the game ends in 8 rounds. And I feel like 8 rounds is perfect, because by the time, if I had to play 16 rounds of this, I would just it would be very painful to play 16 rounds of this. So playing 8 rounds to me feels very, very right up the alley. Kind of put on table, roll your dice, try to do your min maxing, try to chain things together if you can. Maybe make your future turn a little bit better. Maybe kind of, shake your fist at the sky because your past self messed up your current self, as my past self always does mess up my current self. Always. It's his habit. Curse you, past self. But that's kind of all the game really has to offer. I mean, like, it's not really a ton else outside of that. I mean, there's cool art on the back, I guess. But at that point, one could ask the question of, wouldn't it be nice if there was like a power set? I don't know. I don't know if such thing could have fit on there. It might have. I don't know. But all in all, not a ton going on in the game. and as a result, I think I do agree with the Board Game Geek rating on this one. So BGG has this rated as a 5 out of 10 currently, and I think 5 is pretty on the nose for this game. Very much one of those games to where, if I got some time to burn and I want to play something a little bit different, I might put it on the table. But I seriously doubt I'm gonna actually be reaching out for this one. Compared to the previous one, actually, sorry, Borg and Geek marks this as 5.5. I disagree. I mark this as a 5. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and rate it myself here as a 5. Um, but what I was trying to say was that compared to the previous game that I played, compared to Railways, I think this game is pretty much a far cry from that game. Railways had some good crunch to it, has some nice strategy thrown in there, and comparatively speaking, Railways is the superior game in the series so far. But I've only played 2 out of the 3, so I'm going to play the third one here shortly. And I will say that City Planner, I was kind of hoping a little bit more. I love city building games. I love playing Clinic. I know it's not a city building game, but it's like city building adjacent. I like playing Rolling Heights. I like playing, I want to play Small City. I keep putting it on the table and not learning it. But I like games where you get to build out like a city type thing. Like, that just sounds fun. And this game advertised that, and it did not deliver that at all. It was just kind of, like I said, bingo with a few extra steps. So, this review is very short because there's not really a ton to say outside of I agree with the Board Game Geek. Actually, I disagree. I think it's a 5 out of 10, not a 5.5 out of 10. It could be interesting to see how this game will work out in 2 players, but honestly, I don't think I would bother myself. It's part of the Nano 9 series game, so I guess I have it for the collection because of that. But otherwise, yeah, I would not quite recommend this game. Yep, that's all I had to say about that. All right. So thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and hope this was informative. Be on the lookout for the next video, which is going to be covering Empire, which is the last game in the first series of the Nano 9. And I do have the second series, which I have not learned how to play yet, but I will be eventually learning how to play these ones and doing a separate set of videos on that too, in the Small Box Big Game series. And I'm really looking forward to playing Clinic, the small version of it, because I'm a huge fan of Clinic as a board game. I did a whole series of videos on that one too. So fingers crossed that one lives up to the hype. We'll see. We'll see. So that's it. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I will see you all whenever.